All right, what's up, everybody? We're here for do the '96 NBA redraft here. We've been doing it since '92. This year, this one we're actually really looking forward to. We've been actually looking forward to this one for a while now. I know because it's the '96 draft. 10 All-Stars were in this draft. Last time we did it, Casey, you ended up with the '95 draft. Not one of the more quality teams you had put together. So you're hopefully just the depth alone will allow you to put together a better team here at this time. Or I'm looking forward to hopefully be able to make fun of you again for a bad draft.
Well, I'll make fun of you for saying 10 All-Stars when there's really 11 in this draft. So I'll let that slide.
Oh, give me the 11. Give me 11. Let's do it. I got 10.
That's all right.
If you want to go fact for fact, let's do it right now.
We got Kobe. All right, let's do it. We got Kobe, Nash, AI, Ray Allen, Jermaine O'Neal, Big Ben, Peza. Was Marcus Camby ever an All-Star?
No.
Never?
No.
All right, Stephon Marbury.
Yes.
Antoine Walker.
Yes.
Sharif.
Stojakovic.
I said Peza.
Yep.
Sharif.
Jermaine O'Neal.
I said
yes.
Jermaine.
Sharif. Yes.
I imagine that's it.
Yes, that's it. Sharif, Ray, Kobe, Iglauskis, Iverson, Marbury, Nash, Jermaine O'Neal, Stojakovic, and Antoine Walker. 10, baby.
And the man you're forgetting, Ben Wallace, undrafted.
Oh, gosh. That's
Casey's right.
Casey throws out the fun facts. The fun facts. The key word is NBA draft, not undrafted players. Okay.
Last time I checked, undrafted still have the keyword of draft in it.
Oh, that is weak sauce right there, but I guess I'll give it to you right there.
Casey definitely won the one.
All right. I'll give Casey the bonus point, but you still don't get first pick. I do. And this year, this would be the Sixers pick, and they went with Iverson, obviously. I'm going to go with the obvious choice here, Kobe Bryant. Pretty hard.
You can't teach size.
Huh?
You can't teach size. You want Todd Fuller.
I definitely don't want Todd. let's give a couple Kobe stats. Averaged 25 points throughout his career. 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA, 12-time All-Defensive defensive NBA, and 2-time Finals MVP. Only a 1-time MVP, which is kind of surprising. But he did play with Shaq, and LeBron was coming up at that point, and Duncan. So
and one rape accusation.
One there, it does not have that on his reference basketball called that. But so yeah, Kobe Bryant, me first pick. Obviously passed away not too long ago. Definitely one of the best players. One of the more annoying players that I did not root for him because I was a Warriors fan at the time, but definitely had respect for his game and for sure. And I'd have to say probably in my lifetime, other than Jordan, but like I said, only saw him play kind of really very last year. I'd probably say the clutchest player towards the end of the game in our lifetime. That's for me anyways. So that's who Kobe Bryant first pick for me. No doubt. I like my chances already in this draft.
So the 76ers pick the hometown boy.
You got to remember he's got 81 points for a career high, which is only behind Wilt still.
Yeah, okay, that's probably a good point to bring that up. That's a pretty crazy stat, huh? I mean, that still blows my mind. 81 points. Say that again, T.
A month earlier, he had 72 and 3/4 versus Dallas.
I do remember that. Nuts. He just got so – he was just so, like – he just was so, like –
he could get so hot.
Good at times, man. He just was. He wasn't like Jordan. He was a little bit more emotional at times. It felt like, but just what a great player.
I thought what kind of just to make a point to your Dan. He only missed the All-Star game twice, which was his first year and his third year. So out of 18 of 20 years, he made the All-Star, which is pretty incredible.
And he probably was hurt. Was he hurt one of those years too? And he was a 4-time All-Star MVP. Perfect for him.
Yeah.
Is that a record?
I don't know if it's a record, but it's got to be close, I would think. I would think Jordan might be close.
Yeah, I'm sure he's close, yeah. One of those two, I'd imagine.
All right, second pick. Is that go to Casey this time?
Yes.
Casey.
What is that beeping?
This is our refrigerator that is going off right now that you hear. I apologize for that. Xavier is trying to get a yogurt. My son is trying to get a yogurt for everybody out there. Case, second pick. Who do you got, man? That's a tough pick, I think.
Better be Gogurt over Yoplait, but I'll take Allen Iverson.
Hey, I surprised.
I just thought he was just a trendsetter for the whole NBA with his, his look, his image, his style of play. He averaged 26 points per game for his career. A lot of people don't think he was a big assist guy, but he did have 6 assists for his career. Hall of Famer, 11-time All-Star, 5 30-point game for his years. He had averaged over 5 times 30 points, which is pretty incredible. 60
MVP.
points was MVP. 60 points was a career high, but I thought the most impressive was in his playoff, he had 55 and 54 for a playoff game. That's a lot. And then 10 assists.
He loves practice.
10 steals and 16 assists. And he does love practice. So I don't think people truly appreciate, especially me being a smaller guard. I'm 5'9". But I would say realistically, he's probably 6 feet. To play at that level is just incredible. Because he took
and he was never hurt really either.
He took the Fab Five, I thought, to a whole nother level.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to argue against.
The Fab Five, just the mantra.
Like the image?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
I
accepted
was like, what the heck are you talking about, the Fab Five? I get what
he never played for the Fab Five. Yeah, no.
Okay.
And the other thing about Iverson that the thing that it'd be hard. It's hard for me to put him ahead of Nash and Allen, but I can understand why he's still a Hall of Famer. He's but the thing I remember about him the most is how much, like you said, Casey was kind of a trendsetter at that time too for his era. You know what I mean? Like, what was his thing with David Stern? Not wearing the suits or something?
He just looked like a thug.
But didn't he want him to wear a suit or something?
No, he didn't want to wear a suit. They changed the rule because of him, basically. Well, he started wearing the big chains, the baggy pants, what you see rappers wear. And then all the NBA players started doing it, and David Stern didn't like it. So it was basically yeah.
Tyler knows his brother was like the biggest fan of Allen Iverson and Kobe.
I had pictures of Kobe, AI, all over my room. I had a big 3, a big 8, painted on my door.
And he was a unique player for sure. And only being 6 feet tall, he didn't really feel like it because it wouldn't be the player I'd want to play with necessarily, but he was a hell of a player. Tyler.
He had the perfect GM in Pat Croce.
Yes.
The perfect what?
Was that the owner?
No.
Wasn't he the owner?
No,
I thought he was the owner. I think he was the owner. Pat Croce, or is it Croce?
However you want to pronounce it.
I have no idea. I know what he looks like. Well,
Tyler, you got the third pick.
I get to take my favorite player of this generation, 2-time MVP, more than anybody in this draft class, and change the game on the court, not just off it like AI, with the running gun style. And I'll take Steve Nash.
No shock there. He's probably happy he was around for the third pick overall.
I was very happy.
Tyler put his haircut around Steve Nash when we were in middle school.
How many times a game did he wrap his hair around his ear at average?
God. He'd always be bleeding in the playoffs. He'd be beat up, broken nose or cut eye.
It's hard not to have Nash as one of my favorite players too, just because
and he was so good at shooting. He should have shot more. I think he was just as good as
I think he admits that now.
I think he does too. I think he's just as good as Curry at shooting. Curry's better off the dribble and can do more moves.
He's taller. Yeah.
Yeah. But Nash was so clutch. In games, you watch him. I was watching Game 6 where Kobe hits that game winner, or Game 5 to go up 3. Game 4 to go up 3-1. the Lakers
Yeah.
versus Suns. And Nash and him are just going back and forth, and Nash hitting these like step back 1 foot off 1 foot bank shots, nothing but like off the glass swish, just hitting these crazy shots, and then getting easy dunks from Ari.
I just remember Nash first was his Dallas years too. Like his Dallas years to me are underrated with Nowinski. Like he was really good.
Those PT on those Dallas teams. They'd always play Van Exel down the stretch.
Well, yeah, but there was times where I thought he still was good then too. But
he was good anyway, for sure.
Obviously, the thing
it's
with Nash that sticks out to
Jason Kidd played on the same teams.
Were they traded or they ever play? Oh, for the Suns, yeah, they did play on the same teams. Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
that is
first with the Suns.
Yeah, that's true. Funny to think about. You're right. The thing I think about with Nash is how good he was with Stoudemire and those pick and rolls. When I think of him, so we all have good guards here to start out with. So, all right,
and the Santa Clara native.
Yeah, he
I
beat
get
Arizona in a 15-2 matchup in the NCAA. Another Arizona fact. Got to keep track of those at home.
I get the fourth pick here. I'm going to go with Ray Allen. Jesus Shuttlesworth here. So I get
this draft is just set up for the first overall pick to not lose. Like no matter what way it goes.
Kobe and Ray Allen is a pretty good team here to start out with. Not a bad combination in the backcourt. I think Ray Allen. I think for safe to say that we consider him probably one of the best shooting guards ever. Right, probably one of the best shooters ever. Probably the first guy we think of before Clay is just like
top four greatest shooter of all time.
Just a great shooter, right? Clutch. Has one of the biggest ballsy shots of all time. Game 6, kicked Greg Popovich right between the huevos, right there on that corner shot there.
Where is Tim Duncan?
I just love him. When I think of Ray Allen, I know it's crazy, but I think of him for some reason as a Sonic. A buck. I don't think of him as much.
That's what my argument was when we were talking about Gary Payton and Ray Allen.
Yeah, but he's not. I'm more of a Sonic than Gary Payton. I'm just saying. I
didn't say he was more. I said he was a better Sonic.
No, I don't. I still don't think he's a better Sonic than Payton. I'm just saying when I think of Ray Allen, I think of him on his Sonic days. Probably because we live in the West Coast, so I got to see a lot more of his games then. But I don't know. I just think of him as a Sonic and just how athletic he was and a shooter. How good they were in those Milwaukee teams too, man, in college years against Iverson and
he was an underrated dunker also.
What a great player for sure. Case, you get the 5th pick, my friend. It's gonna be an interesting pick. I'm curious who you go with here. I think I know where it is, but let's see what you go with.
I'm going with Benjamin Wallace.
Ben Wallace, the undrafted free agent. He gets taken in the draft here. Going defense here, so you go AI. That's probably a good pick, heavy AI.
Well, people don't remember. I think a lot. It's forgotten. He was the 02, 03, 05, 06 Defensive Player of the Year award winner, which is pretty significant. So
I remember Theo.
He was undrafted. So to me, like he was just, I think, a forgotten player in this draft that obviously wasn't taken. And an NBA champion.
And I could see why it wasn't taken, though, can't you?
Well, yeah, but I'm saying
he has no offensive game whatsoever.
He was a 4-time All-Star, 2-time rebounding champ, NBA champ, 01-02 block champ, and he never in his career averaged 10 points or more. So he never averaged 10 points or more for a season, but his career high is he had 28 rebounds twice in his career, 10 blocks twice in a game. And then to me, when I looked up his best game, to me, I thought his 2 best were 19 points, 10 blocks, and 28 rebounds in one game. And then the other one was 17 points, 10 blocks, and 24 rebounds in a game. To me, that's pretty ridiculous.
Couple things I'll think about with Wallace is how he kind of, I know it was that older Shaq, but how he did a really good job on Shaq when they played against him in the finals and being kind of undersized. And then I'll also remember Ben for kind of instigating that Malice in the Palace a little bit. So that's probably
But people forget he was really strong. He was really strong.
Was.
I don't think people forget how strong he was.
He had a great throw too.
That's like
Good pick.
his
Casey,
physique
that's
was
actually
top notch.
and Casey, that's actually a really good pick if we're doing this to play against each other's team. Having Iverson and Walls is probably as good a center and maybe that's probably as center to guard combination as you can have, considering Iverson's gonna take 50 shots. All right, Tyler. Your first pick was Steven Nash. Who are you taking with the
My
6th overall
second pick, he's a little lower on my list, but since I got Steve Nash, I'll build around Nash and take the 3-point shooting Peja Stojakovic.
Good choice. Good choice. I'm a little surprised you passed on the guy I'm going to take now, but still a good pick.
Jermaine?
Well, we don't need to spoil anything right now. Peja,
a no-brainer.
what do you remember about Peja that you like?
I just didn't like him, but he was always good. Like,
What do you remember about him that you thought was good anyway?
His 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
And
then, he was kind of like one of the first ones, huh?
And it was a weird shot, too. It wasn't, like, pretty.
Kind of a slingshot.
Yeah, it was like a one-handed shot, kind of, but it wasn't, like, I don't know. It was just weird. And he had a really hairy chest.
and we talked about when we did that Lakers Kings podcast that he was I think what we say number 4 in all MVP voting, which kind of surprised me. I mean, I was 4th, but I'm kind of just surprised Peja was 4th in a year in MVP voting. That kind of makes you just show how good of a player he was, at least for one season anyways. And he averaged like 20 points a year, 4 different times, and he was a good player. I just kind of forgot about how good he was at times. I don't know. Looking back at his stats, I'm just like, wow, he was a pretty solid player. Decent rebounder, 5 rebounds a game, couple assists a game. I think the thing that always held him back was he wasn't really known for any defense, right?
No, we don't play defense on this team.
Yeah. So you're going Steve, and we're going and Peja. All right. Well, I'm going to go Jermaine O'Neal, obviously, then with that next pick, because now I can go Kobe, Ray Allen, and Jermaine O'Neal. Jermaine O'Neal, to me, I feel like is kind of a weird story because looking at his career, he kind of, he had like those weird first 4 years on Portland where he basically like never even played at all. And then he goes to Indiana.
It was like an MVP
in that Dale Davis trade, and then he ends up there. What a steal for the Pacers, by the way. And he ends up having that year that Peja gets 4th. He gets 3rd in MVP voting that year, behind Stoudemire and somebody else, and or behind
Kobe?
Nash and Shaq. I just thought it was interesting how good O'Neal was actually for probably that 6-year stretch there, though. Like, remember
was he good after the Malice in the Palace at all?
Yeah, he was pretty good still, but he wasn't nearly the same player, I would say, after that year. Because remember when he went to I feel like on the year that with O'Neal, he was their best player on a couple of those teams, right? I mean, he was the best player.
Jermaine O'Neal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's nobody else better on those teams, right?
No,
I mean, you could argue Miller, but no.
Well, I was going to say Artest maybe, but
no.
Well, to answer your question, Tyler, he did get 01-02 Most Improved Player.
Who, Jermaine?
Yeah.
Yeah, and a 6-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA. His best year was in 04 and 05. He averaged 24 points that year, 8 rebounds. And that was in terms of his points. But he put up probably 6 straight years there, pretty good years with the Pacers. And then he ended up on Miami. And that's where pretty much his career went downhill after that.
It's funny. He did end up playing with the Warriors, though.
Yes, he did and he started. And the thing I remember about him is that Mark Jackson was still isolating him. Mark Jackson would still isolate him in the post.
Yeah.
And
it's funny when I looked at
Jerry West was not liking that. Jerry West.
when I looked up his numbers, Darren, I was kind of shocked. Like, I was like, I didn't realize like how good he was. I probably would have taken him over Ben Wallace if he was like a better defensive player. But then he
was pretty good defensively, I thought.
No,
too, though.
His best game that I wrote down that he had was 38 points, 10 blocks, and 21 rebounds in a game.
Yeah,
which is pretty remarkable.
He has like 7 straight seasons with 2 blocks with 2 blocks at least every year. So I mean,
he had that kind of wasn't a winner being that Rasheed Wallace, and not that Rasheed wasn't a winner, he won a championship, but like that you couldn't trust.
He did have his moments.
I mean,
But I felt like that was more of a reflection of his other players on his team, like
I
the
just felt like
Artists and
sometimes
Jacksons.
I just felt like if you can score 55 points and that was his career high, if you can get 55 in an NBA game, you got to be pretty damn good.
Oh, he was unreal in the post.
Remember Tony Delk did get 50 twice.
53.
But in the playoffs,
And Corey Brewer did get 50.
His best game in the playoffs was 25 points and 22 rebounds. So you can't be no slouch.
No, I'm not. O'Neal's a beast. That's why I would have took him over Ben Wallace. All right, so just kidding. All right, so Casey, your pick here. Ben
This
Wallace.
one's a little tough for me. Just going
Starts to get a little
on,
dicey after this pick.
It does. And I'm kind of in a toss up between three people right now, but just based on my team, where I'm going with this, because I already took a defensive stud, and I got a playmaker. I'm gonna need someone to shoot the. Well, AI is a playmaker.
He's a scorer.
He's a playmaker too.
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna have to take someone that can shoot the rock a little bit. So I'm gonna
Antoine,
take
baby.
Antoine, baby. It's
you
Antoine, baby.
Oh, you just said somebody that likes it. I don't know if AI and Walker can play on the same team together. This is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out in our fake mock draft here.
People forget that he went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They were a pretty legit team when he was there.
He was terrible.
Yes, he was.
He was a 3-time All-Star. Ended up.
He's good. I'm not saying he was terrible. I'm saying that Celtics team was terrible.
No, he ended up being an 05-06 champ with the Heat. It didn't really have a role in that. A little bit here and there, but and then what's going on? Darren, you're messing up something.
Darren, we're having an earthquake. Sounds like you're force coding. Darren.
Darren.
You're talking in tongues.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
Yeah.
I said his career is kind of weird to me. It makes me want to rewatch
Well, you can't just cut me off after a 5-minute fart over here and not let me finish
sorry.
what I have to say.
I thought I was talking the whole time, I guess.
No, you had Rumble in the Bronx in your house.
No.
No, I was going to say, no, I thought Antoine was, obviously was a 3-point chucker, but was pretty good, out of Kentucky. Made a damn good NBA career. And then 96, 97, all rookie. And then, a solid career. Anytime you have 17 points, 7 rebounds for your career, that's pretty damn good. And then, I was kind of shocked. He was actually a really good rebounder. Like I didn't know that. So I was kind of surprised.
His second year in the league, he was 21. He was an all-star. He had 22 points and 10 rebounds a game. That's what I said. Like his first 6 years, I kind of want to go back and rewatch one of his games because he averaged 20 points a game.
Was he over 40% shooting?
And basically 8 rebounds, and it was over 40% shooting.
Not much,
except for the last 2 years. But he had a couple
years.
That's
terrible, not being over 40%.
No, he was one of the early guys that just jacked him up, I guess, because one year he took 7.4 threes, 8 threes, and 7.5. But he was an interesting player. I kind of want to go back and watch him play again just to kind of see his kind of career. Because that's actually not a bad pick going with Wallace. So you got like a kind of a small forward AI Ben Wallace. Interesting team there.
You just have to watch this Shake NBA Live commercial.
Yes.
Best video game commercial of all time.
Tyler,
they had that and Barry Sanders that year.
Oh, you're right.
Which was that, T? Say that again.
The Shake, like EA model that year.
Was
Barry
that
Sanders?
Yeah. I know that, yeah. That's throwing it back old school. Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. Tyler, you took
it's like a video game playing against real people. Yeah. My pick?
You took Steven and Peja?
Yeah. I guess we'll go with we'll take the Cal product. We'll take the Cal product. We need a forward. He can score. He was great first couple of years until he got hurt. And we'll just hope for health this time.
Who we go with?
Sharif.
He kind of he kind of surprised. Maybe it was just because he was on the teams he was on, but his first few years he went 18 points, 22, 23, 20, 20, 21. And then he ends
he
up
was
on
good until he got hurt.
then he ends up on Atlanta, and his career basically, ends at that point there. But yeah, he was kind of an interesting player. Was so highly touted out of Cal. Yeah, it's not a bad pick. He'd be interesting to see how he would do nowadays. It looks like he averaged basically 1 3 a game. He definitely would have to shoot more now. He had kind of a nice game though. Good mid-range game. Good post up, sneaky, quick kind of moves in the post, and then he had a good little like elbow jumper with that little like good little pump fake game that could kind of get to the mid-range. Good player. Yeah, I liked
He
him.
could pick and pop.
Yeah, I'd definitely be able to do that with Steve.
He was athletic. It wasn't like he didn't have athleticism either.
No, you're right. Injuries just derailed him.
Yeah,
quite a bit there. All right, so that falls on me here. I'm gonna go with
Candy.
I'm gonna go with Stephen Marbury here.
Marbury.
It's Stephon.
The best player in China for years.
Yes, he is. So I'm gonna go. I got Ray Allen, Kobe, Stephen Marbury. I think the thing I remember most about Stephen Marbury was like,
man, who's gonna pass the ball?
Well, that's a good point. Ray will just be spotting up, hoping to get the ball. The thing I remember
a bunch of ball hogs.
Jermaine O'Neal's not a ball hog. How dare you say it? No, it's good. The thing I remember about Stephen Marbury is like thinking how good he was and how many good numbers we put up, but then you'd be like, did his team win? And you'd be like, no.
I do remember Stephon Marbury and AI leading that East team back in the All-Star game. It was one of the best All-Star games.
Yes, that was gonna be my very next point was how good he played in that All-Star game because he was unreal.
He hit like 2 clutch threes.
Got traded straight up for Jason Kidd. Obviously, Kidd didn't want to be in Phoenix at the time. Obviously, Kidd was one of the 10 best players in the NBA probably at that time. So, he doesn't look good in that deal.
That's something about Marbury, though.
Yeah, the thing about Marbury, though, is like it was a bad decision for him early on to want to get out of Minnesota.
I mean, yeah.
Playing with Garnett, that makes life a little easier.
I wouldn't want to live in Minnesota, so I don't blame him.
I'm not saying you want to live there. I'm just saying from a basketball standpoint, he probably would have benefited playing with a defensive player like Garnett.
He was 2-time All-NBA, though.
No, he was a great player for a few years there. What was it? Yeah, I liked him for sure. Case, your pick.
He mentored Sebastian Telfair.
And then he also had a great year in China. So I get those Chinese years as well? Do I get those championships?
No, you're drafting an NBA team, not a Chinese team.
We'll pay you in yen.
Yeah. Case, you got your fourth pick here.
I'm going to take another defensive player, Marcus Camby. Going to solidify the paint.
That's a good belt. Wallace and Camby not going to be able to get much in there. Thankfully, I have Kobe Ray Allen and
Thankfully, I have Vaz to set a pick and roll.
We're just gonna pound that. You know what we call it? Paint. We call it paint. But 4-time.
We're playing a 2-3 zone against your pathetic offense.
Pathetic offense, please.
4-time block champ, Case. I didn't know that.
Yeah, 4-time all.
He's never an all-star.
All defense. 4-time all defense. 9 points, 9 rebounds for his career. 12 seasons, he actually averaged 10 rebounds or more, which I was kind of shocked. And then his career high in rebounds was 27. And then
he only played 2 years in Toronto.
He had 13 20 rebound games, which is a lot.
In his career?
Yeah.
I didn't realize he had that many. That's insane.
Yeah.
Where do you think he played best with? Toronto, New York, Denver, Portland?
When I looked it up, it was like kind of like
probably Denver or New York.
After the first 3 years, and then probably 3 to 9 were his best years. So late Toronto, Denver.
Yeah, because he was the block champion 3 straight years in Denver. That's pretty impressive. 3.3, 3.3, 3.6. He was kind of basically Rudy Gobert there before Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, no, and his career high was 3.7 blocks for his career.
Yeah. I thought he was going to have a little better career being the second pick out of UMass. You know what I mean? I kind of thought, he still was a good player. I thought he'd be a little bit better in terms of just offensively anyways. He never was only averaging 9 points. I thought he might be able to average a little bit more than that, but still good pick there. So, all right, so T, your pick now, fourth pick, and then we got one more round. Who you got?
I guess, what do I need? I need a lot. I guess we'll take another European. We'll go with Iglesias.
The big man. Soft touch.
We're gonna be the whitest team in America.
He was a two-time All-Star, though. I'll give you that.
That is crazy.
He could hit the mid-range. He could pick and pop with Nash. And
I just remember having bad feet.
But
I remember having that terrible feet at the beginning of his career. Because everyone's healthy.
A beautiful bald head.
Beautiful bald head. For 3 years, this is what he played. He played 5 games, 24 games, 23 games, and missed a season. So for 4 years, he didn't even play a season. Yeah, but then he was healthy for about 5-6 straight years there. So he did have a season case, you're right, where he in 02 and 03, where he averaged 17 points a game. I didn't realize he was that good. So
his best game I looked up when I was shocked. I was like, my God. I was like, he had 35 points and 22 rebounds in one game. I was like, man, he was maybe better than I thought.
Did he really have that many?
Yeah. And then in the playoffs,
a lot of flat-footed rebounds.
And in the playoffs, his best game was 24 points and 19 rebounds, which was in 06-07.
Dang, that's pretty impressive actually. So Iglesias, good pick from T. All-Star, the last All-Star on the board there to go. I'm gonna go with. I kind of need a big technically, but I think the best player to go with here and clutchest player is Derek Fisher. So I'm gonna go with Derek Fisher with the last pick. Obviously, Derek Fisher is a great Warrior all time. That was good. Even though I did go to a game where he did hit a game-winning shot as a Warrior to beat the Celtics. I will give him. He did do that. Let's see. How many years did he play on the Warriors? He played 2 years on the Warriors. Averaged 11 points and 13 points. His best
all I
year
have to say is, do you remember the flop against the Warriors? And everyone remembers the play.
Yes.
When he was on the Lakers.
Yes. I remember him also getting over. Remember because his daughter had that big deal on the Jazz. I remember when the Warriors played the Jazz in the second round.
In the second quarter,
Came in like in the second quarter. He was getting
hitting these huge shots.
So I got Kobe and Derek Fisher back in the backcourt together. So I got them linked up again. Case or who you got with your final pick?
This one was a tough one. I thought about going with Shandon Anderson, but I'm going to go
too crappy in those games you watched.
I was like, I can't go with the loser, but no, I'm actually going to go with Kerry Kittles.
Kerry Caboodles. I like it.
I got a good shooting guard, good decent size, but first career.
What a name! I just love Kerry Kittles' name too.
Yeah, first career though, 14 points a game. His career high was 40 points. I didn't look much up after that, but
he only played 8 years.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised because I didn't remember he played with the Nets, and I believe he played with Stephon Marbury actually
for 1 year, and then he left after that. Yeah. No, I don't think he did actually play with Marbury. No, I don't think he did. He was the Nets his whole career. Then he played 11 games with the Clippers and retired. It was an injury. So, Kerry Kitten Caboodles. Tyler, you get the last pick here in this draft. Who are we going to go with here? I'm curious to see.
I got so many options. I only wrote down 14 names. I thought I had 15 down, and all 14 are gone. But I remember a couple guys. It's either the Junkyard Dog
Dampier.
or Tony Delk.
No Dampier.
I don't need another big.
What about Malik Rose, 2-time champ?
Lorenzen Wright, Samaki Walker.
I don't want any Spurs.
Potapinko.
I'll take Mr. Delk. Bring him back to
Darren's ruining it again. Why are your machines farting?
He was really upset I took Tony Delk.
Tony Dunk, another ex-Warrior as well.
A play. He loved to shoot in Phoenix.
Where did he go to college?
Kentucky or Kansas? Kentucky.
Kentucky, good job. Yes, he did. Kentucky, yes. He played. He
More
was
double zero. Or
played
zero.
for the Hornets, then played for the Warriors for a few years, and then
You were double zero or zero?
double zero. The double zero. He wore double zero, and then a couple teams he wore 28 and 7 randomly. I don't know why he changed it for a few years. So
I didn't know he ever wore 28 or 7.
well, I think this is definitely comes down to me because I had the first pick. So I think getting Kobe and Derek Fisher back together automatically puts me in the championship.
I think your bigs might hinder you. I have some offensive bigs that could score on Jermaine and whoever your 4 is. Your bigs are great defensively. I'm not scoring down there.
I feel like Kobe could just play anywhere, so he's good.
I feel like my team could keep you in the 90s.
Yes,
I don't think you're keeping my team in the 90s.
I think your team could keep itself in the 90s.
Allen Iverson would have 50 a game.
Yes, he would enjoy playing on this team.
Unless Antoine got a little excited.
Yeah, Antoine would be like, "Give me the damn ball and you just shoot those threes and you get 8 up a game." Impressive.
Oh, I mean, what do you mean? What about your 3 guys? Who's shooting? Kobe, Ray, or Jermaine? Or
I might have some issues between Kobe and
Stephon.
Kobe, Jermaine O'Neal. Yeah,
and Ray Allen and Kobe notoriously weren't friends.
That is true. So they might be able to work that out together. And I got some high school players on this team.
I have good camaraderie with 3 Europeans.
It's Nash. Nash is Canadian, so that counts as one of your.
Well, I guess 4 international players. And then we have a friendly man in Tony Dunk.
So, guys, I think this definitely goes down as one of the deeper drafts we're going to probably do. I looked ahead to our 97 draft that we're going to end up doing. I just want to give you guys fair warning that if we go 15 deep, it's going to be pretty rough, but we'll try our best. There's only 4 players that average more than 10,000 points, or that got over 10,000 points.
Who are they?
It's Tim Duncan, Tracy McGrady, Chauncey Billups, Steven Jackson. Those are your 4 best players in the next draft. After that, probably the next best player. Probably the next best player after that would be Tim Thomas or Antonio Daniels.
Maybe this draft should be skipped.
Maybe this could be, or if we want to go a Donald Foyle, you could possibly go there with that 5th pick.
Isn't he from Colgate?
From Colgate, the best pick ever. All right, guys, that was fun. Good 96 draft. We'll see you guys for the next one. Peace.
Out.